I went to Paris once and they said to me, you need to lose 8 centimeters around your waist for us to sign you. I said, this is my bone structure. This is my rib cage here. Would you like me to cut off some rib? They did see, oh, you look like this person, you look like that person.
You're even nodding like Indians now.
Yeah,
you look
oh
like
my God,
this
I know.
person.
I am Indian. I always say, मैं भारतीय हूँ.
That photo shoot with Siddharth Malhotra, which went viral. What happened that day, tell me?
I was kind of giggling at the comments because I'm like, guys, we're doing our job.
Actresses, actors, models who looked a particular way and then got surgical procedures done and they look completely different after that.
I've just recently put up my breast surgery on social media. Now that came from my own personal insecurity. Well, I just wanted to be a little bit, just to
But it begins like that, right?
Yes,
for most people.
It does. It begins like that. But that's where I think you have to know when enough is enough.
You worked with Shah Rukh Khan, right?
Yes, oh my God.
What was that like?
That was incredible. I asked the agency, I was like, what's SRK? They're like, it's Shah Rukh Khan. It's you and Shah Rukh Khan in an ad where you're chasing each other around town and you're taking photos of each other. I was like, no way.
Where there are drugs and alcohol and abuse of prescription drugs also. Have you encountered those things behind the scenes?
Yes.
We have Alicia Kaur, a supermodel who came in from Australia and now she's one of the most sought after models in India. Alicia, thank you so much for being part of the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm looking forward to this conversation. I've never spoken to a supermodel before.
Oh, so why thank you.
Always a first, right? After decades of being in this profession, let's go with it. Okay, first I need to know how you got into the modeling world. I read that interview that you did with Elle.
Yeah.
In which you said that right from childhood you wanted to.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me about it.
From a little kid, my parents, they couldn't stop me from changing. I changed 3 times a day. I don't know, there was something about supermodels that just really got my attention. And I was so young and I was very artistic. So my parents were like, they took me shopping. There was a specific store that there was like these designer kids brands and it was close to my birthday and my mum took me in there and she said, okay, you can pick 3 things. So I picked a beautiful pair of pants, a top and a jacket. And the lady at the shop, she was the manager, she's like, they don't go together. And my mum said, just let her do her thing. She's like,
she knows.
Yeah, she knows. And the owner happened to be in the store that same day. And he absolutely loved what I put together. And he wanted to click me and he put me, they do a magazine in the store and he put me on the cover of his magazine at the age of 3.
How old were you? 3? How cute.
But I don't know, there was just this, it was like a desire. I don't know what it was. I really can't explain it, but I just wanted to model. But it was more about being a role model more than anything. So I got into some childhood modeling. Obviously my school was a priority and I was very much into sports. I did dancing at a very young age and then I went into swimming and I became a professional swimmer, which my whole goal was to go to the Commonwealth Games. So I was very into that. But amongst that, I did a little bit of acting and modeling, and when I hit 15 years old, that was the age where most people would go out and they would get an agency and like a reputable agency, so that my goals were to travel all around the world. And
this is in Melbourne.
This is in Melbourne, yeah. And all of a sudden, I struggled. I really struggled. I was being told all sorts of things, that I'm not tall enough, I'm not skinny enough. And at the age of 15, you're
What was your height?
I'm same height. I've been the same height since I was 14 years old.
Which is?
I'm 5'10",
okay,
which is the perfect model height. I actually was a perfect sample size. So I was like, where is this coming from? Like, am I not good enough? What is it about this? And my parents obviously were very supportive. They were like, just keep trying. If you feel that that's what you want, just keep trying. And I would go to quit all the time. I'd be like, no, I'm giving up. I'm just going to focus again on my school. I'll focus on making money. My parents were very supportive in me having a part-time job. So I got my first part-time job at 14 and 9 months, and
Nice.
I started saving money, but with the idea that I'm going to use this money, I'm going to travel abroad, and I'm going to try to get agencies in other countries, because Australia is clearly not accepting me. Just after rejection, I was just like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. But then I would be at the train station, and some person would walk up to me and go, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Are you a model?" And I'd be like, thank you. Like this is so sweet. I needed that. It was like a gift from the heavens, going like,
Reinforcing your belief in yourself.
Because
That's so
your
important.
parents can sit there and go, "You're beautiful. We love you. You can do anything you want. You're going to be a superstar." But when a random stranger tells you those things, or tells you have a beautiful smile, or I just think this is amazing, and I think they're gifts. They're like little angels. So these angels kept appearing in my life, keeping me going. And 45 times I was rejected in Australia. I did it wasn't really a beauty contest, but it was, you raise money for a charity. And I'd raised enough money, and they gave me a free ticket to Cyprus, where my dad is from.
Okay.
And I was like, great, they've got a modelling industry there. I will. I kept working. I saved a little bit more money, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go. I'll go to Cyprus. I'll try to get an agency there.
Sunny Cyprus it was.
Oh my
Nicosia?
God. Yeah. Oh no, it was actually Ayanapa.
Ayanapa. Okay. Lovely beach town.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful.
Yes.
And
the Mediterranean,
oh
how
my
gorgeous,
God.
isn't it?
Stunning. I've never seen the ocean.
Well, you can literally walk in.
Exactly.
I've been lucky enough to travel there, and I've seen that, and it's a lovely place.
So beautiful.
Yes.
I felt so grateful at the time to get that opportunity, and I went there, I met agencies, and I started working, but the work wasn't really busy. And they'd actually suggested to me, they're like, "You're from Australia, like you have access to agencies there that can put you all around the world. Because I'd spent a lot of money traveling on my own to make that happen, and I wasn't making the income to support that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to give it one more go. Otherwise, I'm going to work really, really hard for one more year, and I'm just packing my bags, and I'm going, and I'm going to travel." Then I went back to Australia, and I'd had this beautiful tan. From my hair had actually lightened up. This is all my natural colour, but when I go in the sun, it lightened up a bit. I think I just looked a little bit more like what Australia wanted at that time, which was that kind of beach kind of looking girl.
When was this year?
This is in 2008, 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
So somewhere you fitted the slot.
I all of a sudden fit.
Okay.
Which is something I do want to go into later, about people thinking that maybe they're not suited for modelling or anything. There's always a time and a place, and like to never give up. I all of a sudden got an agency, and they were one of the most reputable in Melbourne at the time. They no longer are around, but all of a sudden I was working.
Okay.
It wasn't just like, okay, I signed with them and I had to work. I had to go to meetings, I had to go to go-sees, I had to go to casting calls, I had to meet clients, I had to do test shoots, I had to pay for photo shoots to be taken by professional photographers. It was tough, it wasn't easy. And I was making an income, but I had a side job in a restaurant. And that supported me throughout the whole process, which is something I couldn't do abroad. It just wasn't possible. But yeah, then Australia kind of like went slow. It was winter, and it was just, there wasn't much work. And I said to my agency, I'd love to travel. Like if there's any opportunity that I can go somewhere else, like, because models were always getting connected with other countries. And they said to me, there's actually a guy coming in, he puts people all around the world. He's called a scout, and he scouts models from different countries to put them in placements in China, in South Africa, in America, and everywhere. And he particularly saw me, and he said, I'm going to put you in China.
Okay.
Like, he's like, I just came from there. I think your look will work amazing. They're very much into Angelina Jolie at the time. And he's like, you give me those vibes, and I think you'll work really well.
Okay.
So within a couple of weeks, I had Beijing for 3 months, Shanghai for 3 months, and Hong Kong for 3 months. And I went there, and I didn't know. It was the first time
in China.
Yeah, it was the first time in China ever, and
a bit much to take, right?
It was so much. I in the first day I was like, I don't.
Completely different culture and food and.
Well, back then too, they didn't really speak English.
Yeah.
So their English was very minimal, and the first day I landed, they put me in an apartment, and the driver didn't speak a word of English, and he just kept saying, like, come. And I was like, come where? And then he got the phone and he put me on the phone with my manager, and she said, you have to go to castings. And I was like, I just landed. I just landed in this country, I'm freaking out. And you're about to put me in a car and take me around to castings. I haven't showered, I haven't anything. She's like, quick, go. I quickly changed and I went. And in that first day, the things that I saw, like just in terms of even the poverty, I saw, like in China, they've got a lot of people who are on the street with missing limbs and stuff in Beijing. I'd never seen this in my life, and I was just in shock. And I also went to a factory, an area, there was a factory, and I could see children sewing in there, and I freaked out. I absolutely freaked out, and I was
because
like,
the rest of the world never sees these.
No,
right?
And you don't see it. And I was like, I don't think I want to be in this industry. Like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I'm cut out for this. I can't ignore what I'm seeing, and I'm coming from this very secure place of Australia where I don't see anything like this, and that was very tough for me. I just had to. This changed my life in a way because I became a minimalist in that moment because I don't really want to contribute to these, I guess more of the corrupted side of the fashion industry. But I am exposed to it, which it contradicts my own feelings. But there is more of a purpose of me being in modeling, and that's what I also learned in this. By the end of that day, I wanted to leave. I was like, I think I need to leave this country. But I met these amazing models in my apartment later because they went there earlier. And they were from all around the world. One was from Russia, one was from Ukraine, one was from Canada, one was from America, one was from Spain. And it was a big apartment. And they all had a beautiful story to tell. They were also loving and caring. They were all without their families. They were all trying to do the same thing. And we spoke about what it was, the struggles of being in this industry, the struggles of being alone, having the support of each other. And I just felt in a moment, I was like, hang on, I think I'm where I need to be. I think I will learn a lot from this place.
And did they share the same kind of conflicts that you
Definitely, yeah. But everybody seemed to have a bigger purpose of why they were doing that and why they were a model. And I honestly, at that moment, I didn't think, okay, this is what I'm doing. But I was like, how can I contribute? Like, how can I not contribute to this part of the industry?
Walking out is easy.
But also just not promoting these types of brands that would do these things, and not being involved in certain aspects of the industry. Like,
but you were just starting out. It's difficult to take a stand.
So in my head too, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna go.
One day I'm going to do that.
Yeah, of course, like that. But that's where my goals sort of started coming from. Going, I want to make the world a more beautiful place, a more peaceful place. But I also got to understand too that a lot of these families, they don't have money. And the support of the whole family is to actually work.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So for me though, then by that evening, I got a phone call and they said, I've got a job the next day. And I was like, okay, wow, this is quick. I didn't expect this. This doesn't happen in Australia. I've never worked so quickly in my life, from just landing and now I'm at work. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a try. I'll give it 7 days at least.
So who was doing your testing? Were they Chinese nationals or were they international?
Chinese
nationals.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they had an agency there, and they brought models from abroad, and it was.
What was the product that you were?
The one that I did, it was a clothing brand. Yeah, it was a clothing brand. Yeah, so that was my first job, and it was a beautiful shoot.
So how many months then?
I was there for 3 months.
3 months in China, in different places.
Well, I was in Beijing for 3 months, and it actually worked out incredibly. because I had that little hint of Angelina Jolie at the time, my face was a little chubbier. But I'd walk into a casting and there'd be 500 to 1,000 people all there from different parts of the world, all going for that same job. And they would stop and they'd go, Angelina Jolie, done. And I would just go, what is happening? Like, it's incredible.
And nobody had ever said that to you before, that
Never.
you look like Angelina Jolie?
Never. And I was like, because I get all sorts of things, like all the time people go, oh, you kind of have a hint of Jessica Alba, you have a hint of this.
That's right. Yes. Now that you say it, yes.
So I've heard that my whole life too. That's also kind of what kept me going, because I'm like, if I look kind of like these people and they're saying they're some of the most beautiful women in the world, I'm like, okay, I should really give this a go. But Beijing happened for 3 months. I met the most amazing people. I had the most incredible experience. I learned a lot about myself, and also living by myself, having to look after and take care of myself mentally, physically, emotionally. With the English problem too, I was like, I started to understand people from a perspective of just energy. Sometimes I couldn't have a conversation with someone, but it would be a smile or a gesture of kindness, of passing a glass of water or just something beautiful. And I was like, I love this. And Shanghai was really beautiful too. And Hong Kong was unfortunate because the first day I landed, my whole passport wallet was stolen off me on the metro. And I was stuck in the country for 2.5 months. Without the ability to work, because I didn't have a passport, I couldn't validate my working visa, so I wasn't able to work, and I didn't have money. Like, the agency gives you pocket money, and it was about $40 US a week. So I was on a serious budget, and this also helps with my minimalism, because I was like, how do I make $40 get me?
Rice and soya sauce.
I lived off like 2 bananas a day.
Yeah, oh my God.
I made a vegetable soup, and I had to boil my water and reuse it, because you have to buy water there. You can't drink the tap water. Well, you couldn't at the time, I don't know about now. But I had to walk everywhere, so I couldn't afford the public transport. And the agency, obviously they could have, they did.
But doesn't, like, if you walk into the Australian High Commission and ask them for, no?
They were not helpful.
Really?
Yeah, they weren't. Like, every day, I would go in almost every day and I'd be like, okay, what is it I need? How can I do this? There was a protocol in place, because I didn't have any identification at all. And nobody in Hong Kong knew who I was. So the agency only knew me for the time period they could. So you have to sign a back of the picture saying that you know this person for 2 years. So I had this back and forth with Australia of getting my family of people that know me for 2 years that are not family members to sign the back of my pictures. And it was a process, and because of
So the bureaucratic hassles are worse than in India, I would guess.
Well, I wouldn't say it's just a process. Like,
it's a process,
and unfortunately, one of the photos, the first time I sent photos back, because I needed to take current photos of myself and send them to Australia. They never reached Australia.
Oh gosh.
So then I had to take more photos and send that again, and then I had 2 friends of family members sign them. And they had to witness it on a statement in the actual embassy in Australia, and then they had to send that back. But that was a month or longer process, and I had to also apply for a new
budget that you had.
Yeah, I was like,
survive on that.
Yeah,
but yeah, guys, I guess those challenges are what makes you hardy, right? And in this profession, you need to be that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, so, I learned a lot.
So when do you become, at this stage, you're not yet a supermodel,
no,
or are you?
No.
So how do you become a supermodel?
So what ended up happening is I actually met a model in India. I mean, in China. I met a model in China who said to me one day, like, you should come to India. I'd love to bring you to India. He's like, I'm going to show you to the agencies there. And he's like, I think you'll work really well. And I was like, amazing. That would be phenomenal. But I was like, I don't know what can happen. I never knew I'd be in China. Who knows what can happen? But India was always a place that I was like, I'd really love to go to. And one day randomly, once I'd gotten back from Hong Kong, I get an email from him and he's like, I've shown you to the agencies in India and one of the agencies really likes you. They just want some pictures of you, current pictures and your measurements, and then we can start the visa process if all is good. And I was like, wow, this is cool. I'm going to try to do this and go to India. So I came here. Off the bat, I started to work straight away.
Bombay?
Yeah, Bombay.
Okay.
I was working from day one, and my work was so good.
Did people here see you as Angelina too, or
No,
as just Alicia?
Yeah, I was just Alicia, but they did see, oh, you look like this person, you look like that person. But I think
you're even nodding like Indians now.
Yeah,
you look
oh
like
my God,
I
know. I made a reel recently, actually.
You look like this person.
I am Indian. I would say मैं भारतीय हूँ.
Okay, Bharti, okay. So you're nodding just like that. Oh yeah, you're Indian.
Yeah. I think what works for me here in India is the professionalism that I've taken from these working in other countries. And bringing that here, but also I think just all the experience and everything that I have.
So what did you do initially? Was it just ramp modeling or was it products?
Everything. So photo shoots for e-commerce. E-commerce has just come into the industry as I was coming in. So e-commerce has started in China. But so what you see online, all this digital marketing that never used to be there. It was campaigns, so the pictures that you see on billboards, magazines, in shops, like the fashion stores in the
Bigger
windows.
scale than what you experienced in China?
Here?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. But I still experienced that in China. I'd be shocked to know that I did a shoot because there was a lack of communication there. I would sometimes go to a shoot and I would think I'm doing a catalogue, which is going to be a book in a store. And I would see myself on a billboard and I go, oh my God, like what is this? Like, but in those moments you're just...
See, when you came to India, you came alone or did you... Yeah,
alone.
And the agency brings you in and introduces you to various clients and then you start doing it. What I want to know is what is ramp modeling like? Simply because my team, the first thing they said is, ma'am, before you ask anything, do ask her about that photo shoot with Siddharth Malhotra, which went viral. What happened that day? Tell me.
Oh my, we were following a brief.
Okay.
That was
What was that conversation? What were you talking to him like? There was that close up and then everybody said, oh, what are this? This is chemistry between the two, which was happening. And then you posted something on Instagram and you said, sorry, Kiara, or something like that, right? What happened in that?
Well, I think it was just simply like, I can't even remember.
There was this picture, both of you walking, and you're looking gorgeous, of course, and he's very elaborately dressed, if I may put. And then you walked in, and everybody was like, "Look at the chemistry between the two of them." And then there was gossiping that, okay, like he's got this beautiful woman next to him, and then everybody was like tagging Kiara on that, and then you posted, sorry Kiara, it's just work.
So because of the stream of the reels that were coming in, because I didn't think that it was going to go viral at all. I literally, because when you finish a fashion show, a lot of the times you're waiting for that picture on the ramp, and you will repost that on your Instagram to show because there's not much that you can't. Like when you do a photo shoot, the photos will come out and you can use those in your portfolio. When you do a ramp, you can't really use those photos in your portfolio.
They have the rights, is it?
Yeah. Okay. Most of the time, you usually do see them on social media and stuff.
So you can use those?
Yeah, you can use, like if you see a photo of yourself, a lot of the times the photographers tag you or something, but sometimes you just don't get photos. So after the show, I saw that people were tagging me in some stuff, but I was kind of giggling at the comments because I'm like, guys, we're doing our job. Like we both had a brief by the designer and by the people that were organizing the event, and they said, this is what we want you to do. We just want you to be with each other on stage, and it was the whole theme of the whole show, and and like in a way.
Does this happen often?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. But they know, like all the designers, everyone goes, if there's something we got someone to do, we'll get Alicia to do it.
Okay.
Like always, like all these choreographers, everything, they're like, who wants to do this? And then everyone will be like, Alicia! Like, it's just because I'm really happy to explore myself creatively. For me, it's an art. With some of the designers I work for, it's...
What is the role of a designer and a choreographer? Like for people who don't understand the modeling business, tell us, where does the designer bring in his or her outfit that he wants? How much role is there of a choreographer, and what's your input as a model on that?
I'd have to say my input is very limited in terms of like the creative side of things, but as I've been in the industry for a while, I think my input is now valid. But I think the designer comes in with their idea about what's going to happen, especially with a fashion show and how they envision it. But the choreographer is there to actually help them put their dream into reality and make it a performance. And I believe back in the day, like in the 90s, shows were really, really elaborate.
Everything in the 90s was elaborate.
Yeah, but it was days of work. There was like proper choreography. There was like dances and this and that. And now it is a faster process. It's I think.
But it's still elaborate, Alicia.
It is. It's definitely elaborate. I
You've done
love it.
Lakme for what, 10 years or something,
yeah.
right? And Lakme is huge, the Lakme fashion show,
yeah.
right? The wedding shows are elaborate. I mean, the set itself looks like this gorgeous flowers and lighting, and they have lamps.
It's
and
incredible what they
and,
create.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
It's huge, right? There's a lot of work that goes into it. It's on in a day and off within a few hours, the whole setup.
I can't fathom how much effort goes into producing this. But for me, I really don't know how the intricacies of of all of this work.
What is it like backstage? Like, I wanted to know that always, because we've seen in movies that there's a lot of energy, and sometimes it's they show us in movies that the models are under tremendous stress at that stage, just minutes before going in. Wardrobe malfunctions happen, clothes don't fit, the outfits don't reach on time. Does all that happen?
It does happen, but rarely. It's very well organized. There's that's what with the choreographers, they have a great team of people that usually work backstage. There's amazing backstage production, I guess. And everybody does their roles so well. There's the outfits, we're always doing fittings the day before or a couple of days before. There are a few things that do happen. Sometimes a zip will break at the last minute, and you've got to quickly stitch them up. There are all of these stresses. Sometimes it can be utter chaos with just people everywhere. It can be messy in a sense, but as soon as that show starts, everyone's lined up in their order. There's always a cue sheet. There's always a backstage manager who's there making sure that just before we go on stage that we know what we're doing. We obviously rehearse the choreography over and over again. There's always some people who make mistakes.
Sure.
There's always something that can go wrong.
Is there pressure on you? Like, for example, when the fitting is done on you a week before the show, and if you've put on a couple of pounds or a pound extra, does the designer or the choreographer get mad at you?
No, not at all. No. And I don't think with how professional the models are that do the fashion shows, all of us are very responsible in that way.
Which means that you have to keep checking your weight before the...
Yeah, but I don't weigh myself. I haven't needed to weigh myself. I eat very, very clean. A lot of us models, we don't eat the junk food. We don't eat the sweets and a lot do, but little bits with limitation. But for me, for example, my size has been almost the exact same since I was 14 years old.
How?
But it's
You can
the
see
discipline.
the pathos in my voice. Like you
I
can
know.
sense it.
I thought this would actually be I think you'll be interested in this topic. I'm very much into health, and I had a disease called polycystic ovarian disease.
Oh, okay.
You might have heard of
Yes.
PCOS.
Yes.
I had the disease. So I was looking at having operations to remove cysts if I didn't take care. And the doctors kept giving me medicine, and the medicine wasn't helping, and it was making it worse. And I lived like this for almost 4 years, and it was crippling. And I thought, if I want to model, I was struggling with my weight, I was struggling with my moods, I was falling into depression, and my skin was terrible. And I was like, there is no way I can model like this. This was all happening prior to me going off to China. And this was also happening amongst of getting the rejection from the agencies too. So this topped on everything. But I decided that I was going to take my health into my own hands and research what is it that us humans need. We need energy. And where do we get our energy from? Beautiful, healthy, fresh food, water, sunlight, all these natural resources, exercise. Now, I made an active effort to change my diet instantly. I went to eating more natural foods. I went to whole food, plant-based vegan. Now it was a challenge. I loved having ice cream, and I loved having cheese, and I loved eating pizzas and burgers, and I loved all that food.
So you eliminate meats and you eliminate dairy?
Yes. And I eliminated packaged processed food, as well as eating takeout from outside.
Was this instantaneously you decided and did it, or did it take a while?
It took a while because I wanted to understand what it was that our body needed and what my body needed, and I knew it wasn't what I was doing. And I didn't eat that badly. I wouldn't indulge too much because I came from a sports background, so I knew what was healthy. But something wasn't working, and it didn't feel right, and my body and my mind didn't feel right, and I was like, I can't live like this. Once I actually started researching about food and what it can do and how it can help you heal, that's when I started to make small changes. So I started to add in more fruits and vegetables to my diet. I started to eliminate more packaged processed foods. I started to look at food as like, if I can pick it and eat it, what a beautiful food, especially when it's sweet. So fruit was my best friend. I would eat fruit breakfast and lunch. I'm not really a breakfast, lunch, dinner kind of person. If I'm hungry, I'll eat. I drank a lot of water. But if I would eat, I love watermelon. So I'll eat the whole watermelon, and that's water, fiber, nutrients, vitamins, minerals, it's everything. And people keep abusing fruit like it's sugar. It's not the same as
fructose.
No, it's not. It's full of nutrients, vitamins. It's supposed to, like the fiber in that actually, like it attaches itself to
minerals.
Yeah, it attaches,
which we need.
Yeah, and making those changes actually changed everything for me, because I was like, if I'm eating healthy and I'm eating natural food, my body tells me when it's full. And my body says, okay, it's hungry, so I'll eat more, but I'll eat more natural food. And initially I was quite hungry a lot of the times, and I would just constantly have snacks on me like nuts and fruit, and I would take Tupperwares with me full of food, and I'd help myself. Also in China, that got me onto this massively, because they time is money there, so they don't really give you a lunch break.
Gosh.
Yeah. So I got really used to this, you know, the intermittent fasting. I got really used to that naturally, because they were like, we can't break, we have to shoot, and they wouldn't provide food. India, oh my God, India provides food.
Yes.
Oh, breakfast, lunch, snacks, teas, everything. They like, I hear it's actually very dangerous for
eat. That's
everywhere
the way they show love, right?
Oh my God. But it's hard. It's hard. It's very hard. It's hard, and it's. I find it's because I know the culture enough. you almost feel like bad for not accepting it. Like I've had to refuse so much food here, and it's that discipline though.
Yeah.
A lot of foreign models actually do come to the country, and they put on weight.
Yeah.
And because they're not used to getting food.
Yes, and I've noticed many times that they feel that maybe my host is going to get offended.
Exactly. Yes.
So out of politeness,
of course,
but that impinges on your work then, and all that happens.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, I have to say to people that this is actually my health, and it's my job, and it's my career, and it's my life. I'm really not hungry, and I appreciate this gesture, and it's so beautiful. But I'm really not hungry, and I don't eat sugar. I don't eat processed sugar. I don't eat packaged food. So when I'm offered a cookie or a cake, or I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I feel like.
And food is not seen as a reward.
No.
Even after a hard day's work,
yeah,
you don't feel like you want to reward yourself with a cookie or a cheesecake.
No, what I love to reward myself is with a beautiful bowl of a mixed, like with salad, with hummus, with rajma or chana. Like I love making Indian food. So cooking is like one of my favorite things.
So discipline is very important, is what you're telling me.
Very important. I think that's the key to anything in life is discipline.
Okay.
Discipline is the biggest thing, but also the discipline has rewards. I'm not starving myself. No way whatsoever. What I'm doing is I'm making sure that the food that I put into myself is full of life and energy, to give me energy in life.
Tell me about the pressures of the job, in the sense of looking the way you look, the emphasis, not necessarily you as a person, but for everybody in your profession, for models, the pressures to go through surgical procedures to enhance your beauty or whatever. Can you tell me about that?
Well, I'm a big advocate. I've just recently put up my breast surgery on social media. I'm not sure if you saw.
No, I haven't seen it as yet.
There's a bunch of stories on my Instagram. Now that came from my own personal insecurity. I've come from a very sports background, so I'm very muscly, and I don't have to do much for that. For me, being a woman meant to also have
curvaceous body.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for me, I wasn't comfortable. Every day I'd look in the mirror and I would put myself down because I didn't feel womanly enough. I felt very manly, and it bothered me for so many years.
I can never understand this. I try my hardest best when I hear beautiful women say that they feel insecure about their bodies.
But I think all us humans, we feel insecure no matter what you do, no matter who you are. That it's like ingrained in us.
I can't stop looking at you because you're so beautiful.
You. But you are so beautiful.
But to think that you could feel insecure at any point of time.
It happens all the time, and I wish I could say this is one of my biggest practices that I'm trying to do, is have self-love. But I'm also worried that self-love might turn into overconfidence or arrogance. So it's like a constant conflict.
Yeah.
But
I get that.
I think all of us are so insecure in so many ways. I wish I didn't have it. I try not to have it. I have this thing that I always say to myself, no one knows that I'm not confident except for me. And I've literally, this is probably taken in the wrong way, but you have to fake it until you make it. So I had to fake my confidence. I had to literally self-talk myself out of these negative thoughts in my mind. And I think that's so important in the modeling industry, is you have to disregard what you believe about yourself in the negative aspect. And you have to literally be kind to yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to go far. You can't. If I stopped at the first rejection that I had of the voices that the words that these people had put into my head, I'm too big, I'm too tall, I can't change my height.
Yeah, or probably because that you're angular because you were a sports person.
Yeah,
so,
but I was I like my body, and they're telling me that my body
too,
is not.
even though you're tall.
I have big bones, and I can't. I've had things where I went to Paris once, and they said to me, "You need to lose 8 centimeters around your waist for us to sign you." And I literally looked at them, and I was like, please come here. Like, and I said, this is my bone structure. This is my rib cage here. I can't be anything. Would you like me to cut off some rib?
But there are people who have done that.
There
right?
are people that have done that, but this is not healthy. This is the part where this can turn into a serious issue. And I don't promote that whatsoever, and hence why with this whole plastic surgery thing, I think if you look after yourself when it comes to nutrition and lifestyle choices, including sleep, hydration, natural air, all of these natural stuff. I even use, in my house, I use all organic products. I don't use any chemical products. I think in that one aspect, you will not age as much. I think there's a lot of these chemicals that are in your food and in the environment around us that do cause stress. Stress causes it.
So then why did you, when you were leading such a healthy life and you were athletic and you were eating well, then why did you get a boob job?
I was sick of looking at myself in the mirror and hating myself, hating who I saw, and I didn't want to live like that. And if there is the ability to make a change that's going to change the way I perceive myself, I was prepared to try it, because it had been 17 years. From the age of 14, everyone was producing them. I was not. And I was told that I'll probably have to have children one day for them to grow or something. And right now, children is not part of my, like, I'm working on my career. So for me, what happened in an instant, and it was unbelievable how quickly it happened, all of a sudden I felt like a woman. I don't know what it was. It's my own...
You're happy with what you did?
I'm so happy with what I did. And I didn't... Everyone was really worried. They were like, don't go big. It's going to look fake. They were like... I think they look very natural. We made sure that... Like, I've seen doctor after doctor for many years, because I was always like, will I do this? Shouldn't I do it? I admired women with beautiful figures and beautiful boobs. I think I have a great figure. It's just, I felt like I could be a little bit fuller.
Okay.
And that's all. I just wanted to be a little bit, just to
But it begins like that, right?
Yes,
For most people.
it does. It begins like that. But that's where I think you have to know when enough is enough and when to stop. Now, I've been asked multiple things. They asked me if I've got filler and like what I've done. I have done a little bit of Botox in my nose and this eyebrow, because this eye actually sinks on me. This was something I decided with my doctor. He doesn't want to do anything else on my face. I haven't had any lip filler. This is all natural. The only thing that was my nose. I've broken it 4 times due to sports when I was younger, and it had the bone in it is a little bit crooked. So by putting that little bit of Botox there, it straightened out my nose. Until possibly maybe one day, if I want to fix. I haven't got such a breathing problem, but there is a bit of an issue with breathing because the bone is quite mangled inside. I could look at having surgery, but it's not an issue. Yeah, and so I prefer to do this. And it also boosted my confidence, because every day I think most of us, we look into the mirror and we judge ourselves instantly.
Yeah.
It will be something, it will be physical. There'll be something physical. Well, I think, I'm only coming from my experience and from what I have heard from other people.
There's a lot of trolling that happens
Definitely.
with actresses, actors, models who looked a particular way and then got surgical procedures done, and they look completely different after that, and not necessarily nicer, but they might have got it done because of that sense of insecurity.
Of course,
and the process of aging is never comfortable, right? Especially in a business where how you look determines everything, almost everything, I would say. So coming to terms with the fact that you are not looking like what you did 5 years ago is something that you have to be mentally very strong to accept that. So do you see a lot of that insecurity around you?
Definitely.
You do?
Yeah. I actually I do talk to a lot of models about this, because they ask me also, because I think with everything that I've put out there, I'm a very honest model, and I want to be there for younger models as a mentor, and it naturally sort of moved into that way. I would have the younger models come up to me, Alicia, how do you do what you do? I've been following you on Instagram. I've been seeing how you're eating and living, and I want to know more. And I want to, like, I see your confidence, and it's just like they're like, it was so, like, it was so beautiful to have this happen to me, because I was like, hang on, I'm here for more than just to be a model, and I can protect, I can help these women understand that they are beautiful as they are. For me personally, what I do believe is we are all individuals. There is no one like me. There's no one like you. Even if we had a twin, there's still differences. I'm my unique self. I really need to love myself. And how do I do that? And that's my biggest question, and it's my biggest question I ask all of these models.
So you're saying, I'm not here just to be a model.
No.
What are you here for then? If it's like, what do you want to do?
I would love to be a role model. A role model for younger generations. It's I think, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I already have seen that I have been a role model to a lot of younger models, or just oh my God, so many people on Instagram constantly reach out. Men, women, older, younger, just saying how I've inspired them to eat healthier. I've inspired them to read more. I've inspired them to exercise more. I've inspired them in healthy ways. No one sent me a message, hey Alicia, you inspired me to get plastic surgery. Like, they love my authenticity, I think, of the fact that I'm putting this stuff out there. And I didn't think I was going to get any response. I was just putting it out there because I'm like, I will just show what I do. And I think that means a lot. It's in a way, it's a bit of a service.
Okay. Did you get access? You're talking about social media, people reaching out to you. Did you, when you came in, did you get accepted immediately? Did the models here feel insecure having a foreigner coming in? Was there any resentment?
Yes, there was. Yeah, my first Black May Fashion Week. So we'd have these photographers backstage from, I think at the time it was like Elle, Harper's, Vogue. All these guys would have their backstage. I think it was the first fashion week. It might have been the second one. But first of all, it had been almost 12 years, I think, since they had accepted a so-called white model into the fashion show industry. There was another model. She was quite well known in the industry at that time. But otherwise, it was Indian models. So when I came in, I think it was like a little bit of a shock. My agency actually at the time, I was with a different agency than I am now, but they said to me like, they don't pick white models, so don't do the audition. And I said, but I really want to do it. And they were like, do it, but don't blame us if you get disappointed or you don't get accepted. And I was like, okay, we'll see. And I did the audition and I got in and I was like, yay, this is actually what kept me in India longer, because I was only supposed to be here 3 months. 3 months was, and then I was supposed to go to South Africa for a modeling stint there for 3 months. But I got Black May Fashion Week and I went home, I redid my visa and I came back. And I was like, yay, this is happening. I love fashion shows. They give you so much adrenaline.
And it's been 10 years of you doing
yes,
this, right?
Yeah.
Going back and forth, but doing a lot of... So you're accepted now as one of us?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people come to you and ask you whether you're Indian or... Does that happen?
Yeah, it always happens.
It happens.
Yeah, it always happens. But I did get a DNA test. And I cross over with the Indus Valley.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
So just because of my DNA, so mum's Anglo-Chinese, so she's got Chinese background, and then dad's European, so Greek Cypriot. And when you break down with the DNA test, it shows me having roots all around the world. I'm even part Eskimo Inuit.
Okay.
Like, it's crazy. But
truly a global citizen.
Literally, that's why when people go, I'm like, Earth is my home. I want to treat Earth really well. Like, it's like, where are you from? Yes, I was born in Melbourne, but I'm like, yeah, that's why I think India is my home. Like, it's...
Who are the designers that you worked with who inspire you? Before we started the show, you said Sabyasachi was one of them.
Yeah.
Who are the others that you spoke with? Who you worked with, sorry.
Look, honestly, I am inspired by anyone who can really go out there and create a business for themselves and really work hard and do well. I love working with all of these designers like Falguni and Shane, Manish Malhotra, Abujani Sandeep Khosla, Rohit Bal. Rohit Bal hasn't been around, he hasn't done a show in a while, but I'm really inspired, particularly by Sabyasachi. He's just an artist to me, like a true artist in every sense.
So, but before you came to India, you never wore those kind of clothes, right?
Never.
They're very elaborate and...
I didn't even know that these clothes existed. I had no idea. I'd had this idea of like this. I think everybody loves a fairy tale. I love a fairy tale. These dresses are so beautiful. The jewelry, the makeup, I feel like a princess here when I dress up. But it's actually funny if you see my social. When I'm not at work, I'm wearing gym clothes. Okay. I'm wearing no makeup. Tracksuits, or I wear like tight leggings. I won't be wearing makeup. I won't be anything. But that's like, I'm thinking whether it's an alter ego or what it is. But that's the Alicia that most people know. But then there's the model Alicia that once I get dressed up, I just feel like a princess. And I think that's what comes across sometimes, even at Couture Week. Oh my God, I felt like a princess or a queen. These outfits, they're just so beautiful. And I can't even fathom running a business and keeping that essence alive. Like, it's just so beautiful.
There have been several Bollywood films about the modeling industry and the senior side to it, where there are drugs and alcohol and abuse of prescription drugs also. Have you encountered those things behind the scenes? You have?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
And have you spoken with the models and have you counseled the younger models about
Yes.
it? You have?
I have.
Huh.
It's something I think though that's everywhere in every industry. No matter whether we like to believe it or not, it's underground everywhere. I myself, I have seen models go that direction, and some have just not been able to sustain their modeling industry, but I haven't seen anything so dramatic. Okay. It's like really, I think it's overemphasized on TV and in the movies and everything like that. We're not in the 90s. There's not, I think what we know of the 90s modeling era with even Kate Moss and all of these American supermodels, I haven't seen that. Okay. But I do think it's a problem. And
but also in the Indian fashion industry, many girls see it as a stepping stone to the film industry then from there. First to pageants. Miss India, Miss World, Miss Universe, and there have been so many who have gone that route. What about you? Did anybody tell you that fashion and then film industry?
Yeah, of course. But the thing is, I don't know, my Hindi is terrible. I'm always saying...
So was Katrina Kaif's.
Yeah, well, that's what, that is true.
Or Jacqueline Fernandez, or any of them, right?
Well, people do say that. I honestly, I would love to. It would always be an idea for mine, but that's not my end goal. It's one of my goals in life. I am going to be on a few things. I've already shot them. They just haven't come out.
Oh, okay.
Some things for Netflix.
Okay.
Which is
look forward to it?
Oh yes, look forward to it. I think it will also be very controversial.
Really? Okay. You worked with Shah Rukh Khan, right?
Yes. Oh my God.
What was that like?
That was incredible. He's
brilliant.
Yeah, he's brilliant, and he's so humble and just nice. He's a nice guy. But the thing for me, I think, because I'm from overseas and I didn't know who Shah Rukh Khan was until I actually came to India, and still, I don't think I see any celebrity, in fact, like that they're like I get a little bit nervous around a couple of them because I maybe have watched their work and it's like I never imagined meeting them. Like I actually got I got more starstruck from meeting Kapil Sharma
Really?
than Shah Rukh Khan for some reason. I have no idea. It's just but my experience with him was I literally the director of that shoot I had worked with on another TV commercial. And this shoot came up so last minute because Shah Rukh only had that 1 day free. So it was like Monday, I get a message, hey Alicia, just send us some recent snapshots of your face just to see your current hair look. Tuesday, you're doing a TV commercial tomorrow. I was like, okay. Like they gave me all the details. And then I just saw SRK. I had no idea what SRK was. I was like, it was TV commercial for this phone company with SRK. I was like, okay, who's SRK? And I asked the agency, I was like, what's SRK? They're like, it's Shah Rukh Khan. It's you and Shah Rukh Khan in an ad where you're chasing each other around town and you're taking photos of each other. I was like, no way.
A billion
no
girls
way.
would want that.
I was like, what is happening? I didn't even have to cast for this. They're like, well, because I don't have any contact with the director or the producer or the production or anything. They literally just thought, Alicia can do it. And oh my God, my life just flipped up. I just called like my best friends from India and I was like, you won't believe what's gonna happen tomorrow. Like, I'm like shitting myself going like, I'm gonna meet Shah Rukh Khan. I think I'm gonna meet Shah Rukh Khan. I think we're doing this ad together. I think I have to get close in contact with him. I've read the brief. I'm just freaking out going, oh my God, this is incredible. I'm so grateful for this opportunity and be on your best behavior. Like, I was like,
you shared the shoot together, or
Yeah.
was it shot separately? No.
the shots where he's in it, we were shooting together. He shot everything in green screen. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. He was all green screen in studio.
Yeah, because for him to be outdoors it involves a lot of paraphernalia that goes with it. So
then there's his body double.
yeah.
So he's oh my God, he's so fun. He's a funny guy. He's very cute. He's very, very sweet.
Okay. What were the other ads that you did which are memorable other than this?
Good question. There was there's a deodorant ad from back in the day, and it was my first ad in India. My agency actually also said that I wouldn't be a TV commercial model. They were very thinking that I would just, because at the time they're like, you'll just do catalog, you'll just do e-com, you'll do the occasional campaign, maybe beauty kind of thing, but TV commercials are not really for foreign models and stuff like that. But this was for this ad went viral. It was the first time YouTube started to get ads.
Okay.
So this one was one of those ads where you can't skip it. Because they had that back in the day. There wasn't print
such
premium.
a nuisance.
Yeah, I know. But everyone was seeing me, it's you can see it on my YouTube.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right.
Yeah, but it's
Tell me about diversity in that, like in the fashion industry. In the film industry, it's just about coming in. But I mean, of course, it's there in Hollywood now. You can see that is making inroads, diversity. What about here? Do people say gori hai? You've heard that all the time, right?
Yeah.
You've heard that.
Definitely. I have a joke for myself that I call myself Gori Guru. Like I'm like, I don't know what to do, and I'll be like I'll just say like I kind of go with the jokes.
Okay.
Because what am I supposed to do? Like I'm so I can't get caught up in the whole drama of so many people have so many opinions.
But what about color positive? Like in the sense that there are darker models, darker skin models now.
I'm all about diversity. I really am. Actually,
do you speak about it with your choreographers?
I do,
do. But are they open to it as yet? Because I do see some of them, like Sabyasachi does that, I know. Yeah. That he's started bringing in models who are dark skinned and not necessarily very skinny. So more normal looking, like Indian looking, curvaceous bodies and fuller bodies. But there's also a pushback to that if you have extra large, super size, very heavy on the hips, you are encouraging women to both sides are extreme, I would think, right? So there are people who are saying that the more you normalize this, the more you encourage women not to try and eat healthier, work out more. And there have been studies which say that Indians are some of the laziest people in the sense of not wanting to do physical exercise all that much. There are studies to prove that now. That especially women, double the number of women who don't exercise as compared to the rest of the world. So it's something that is impacting in various fields, because then we become the diabetic capital of the world, and that's because of not having enough physical exercise, vitamin D deficiency, which makes no sense in a country like India.
Oh my God! So you were saying back to when I started modeling, one of my biggest things that I got bullied online for was get this white girl out of the country. And I was like, in my own country, I'm not a white girl. In my country, I grew up as a wog, which is a very derogatory word for a Greek person or an Italian person, and I was a mix. My mom's Anglo-Chinese and dad's Greek, and I grew up not belonging in my own country. To then come here and be called a white girl, I was like, no matter where I go, there's going to be bullies. No matter where I go, there's always going to be this discrimination. There's always going to be somebody who thinks that they are right, or their thing is right, or I've detached myself completely from all of this.
How?
Just self-talk. I just literally tell myself, nope, don't get involved. Nope, don't. I find a beauty in every individual. There is something beautiful in all of us. I know that. I'm a very big fan of dark tan skin. If the sun is out, I'm out sunbaking.
Have you heard of this model called John Abraham?
Yes.
Indian model?
Yeah.
So he was on a show, on a podcast, in which he said that he talked about online trolling. He was a supermodel at one point of time when male models didn't necessarily go into the film industry. Later they did. But he was called wooden because you looked a particular manner in when you were on stage, right?
Wooden?
Wooden.
Like
no expression.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like just straight on looks, like no expression on his face, and he was extremely muscular as compared to the others who were lean models at that time. And so there was a lot of trolling on him when he got into the film industry, and he said that he just learned to ignore it, and that's one way of going with it. He says you just didn't read.
Yeah, you have to be so, like, I know who I am. I believe I do. I'm still learning, and I still want to grow. My whole goal in life is to be a better person every day. That's, I think, the main thing. But I need to understand who I am and what is it that I love about myself. Now, since my surgery, I really, really like my body now. I love my body. There's certain aspects to my lifestyle that I love. I love my comic side. I love my the way I portray myself on social media. I love my creative essence. I love these things about myself, but I know it's going to sound cocky, but I have to do that. I have to do it. It's about me. At the end of the day, I'm stuck with me for all day. Like, I'm forever in myself, and I want to be kind to myself on the inside. And
so it's body positive and mind positive.
yeah, of course. I know I'm not a malicious person. I know by nature I don't want to ever hurt anyone. I don't want to hurt animals. I don't eat them. Mosquitoes, even if I squash a mosquito, I'm praying instantly, come back a butterfly. Like, I don't want to hurt anyone. And when other people are out there, I feel like hurt people hurt people. And we have this certain idea about what's normal. There's no, well, there are rules, obviously. There are the rules that we have to abide by to make the society work in a certain way, but everybody has their own unique beauty and artistic nature. We've been created, like we're creators, I think.
Nice. I'm going to read out a quote which from an interview that you did when you said, talking about your advice to younger models was, don't ever give up on your dreams. We only have this one life, and you're enough just as you are. This struck with me. We and then you said, but we are ever evolving. So never stop learning, keep dreaming, and keep working on yourself every day. My goal in life is to be the healthiest human being inside out. So everything I do towards modeling follows this goal. Be kind to yourself, eat healthy, get regular movement, try new things, treat others how you would like to be treated, and be grateful for what you have. We are all unique, it's a gift. Quite a nice mantra which you have to lead your life and your advice to younger models, especially because it's a high stress job. Of course, almost all jobs are, but it's a job which stresses a lot on how you look, not just how you deliver on the job. So how you look is something which changes almost on a daily basis. So to come to terms with the fact that aging is a natural process. So do you feel that family is important to be resilient? Do you feel religion, or do you feel spirituality? What do you think that girls or even men should gravitate towards to be more centered?
I think a daily practice. I wouldn't say. I would say the discipline nature of a daily practice will keep you focused. Having a routine, having goals, having a direction which you see as a projection of who you want to be and where you want to go. I've achieved every single goal I ever set out in India.
Really?
It's incredible. That's why I'm always touching the ground, being like, thank you so much. I love this place.
Where is home, Alicia, for you now?
In Bandra.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't think of yourself as an Australian or a Melbourne citizen?
Well, I do believe that the earth is my home.
Okay.
And honestly, I have this bigger belief in something. There's an energy out there that is literally always taking care of me. Times might not be easy. There's times where I have wanted to run far away into the middle of a forest and disappear. But for some reason, the universe keeps sending me little angels, whether in a human form, in a job opportunity, in even an item of food. I don't know. There's just this joy and this love that I feel that the universe is giving me. And as long as I'm doing my practice, as long as I'm doing what it is, so being a better person, like you were saying about that quote, I only have this one life, I am enough just as I am. All of my tattoos represent my my morals and who I want to be. And I think it's very important to know who you want to be. Do you want to be a good person? Do you want to be a bully? Do you want to be a person who takes care of their family? Do you want to be somebody who allows other people to walk all over them? Who do you want to be? What are your boundaries? Are you able to stay focused on, like, let's say you say to yourself, or you say to me, I really want to eat healthy. And then you're like, as of tomorrow, I'm gonna start eating, I'm gonna stop eating cookies. And I see you the next day and you're eating cookies.
Cheat.
It's not even cheating, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
You've just said to yourself, I don't want to do this anymore, and then you're doing it.
Yeah.
This is what we're always doing this.
True.
Like, we'll say we're not going to speak, like we won't speak badly about this situation, and the next minute someone starts talking and you're
you
like,
send a DM,
and you're sending and you're sharing this, like,
oh my God, look what she's wearing.
oh my God, yeah, like, and
oh my God, what has she done to her lips?
Well, for example, like maybe you don't like to be judged, right? But then all of a sudden, next minute, you're judging somebody else.
True, and I saw that during the when those Ambani wedding,
Oh
the,
my
all
God,
the jewelry,
yeah.
right? Oh my God, look at those emeralds! How gaudy is that? And given half a chance, I would want to wear that emerald.
Oh,
right?
of course, but it's jealousy. We are a jealous species, And it's unfortunate. And look, I really wish that people would be kinder.
So when you want to indulge yourself with food, if you do, what is the one thing that you would go to with Indian food? What is that one thing that you'd like? You said rajma and chole.
Rajma and chana.
And other than rajma and chana, what would you go to? Like
so I have.
Please say samosa or say.
Oh, actually, okay, I will. I allow myself. I love samosas. I do. But I allow myself twice a year to indulge in samosa.
Okay.
But you know, by having the discipline, and because I know samosa is not. Sorry, my tummy just actually. I'm just gonna have some sip of water.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, dietitians or nutritionists will always tell you that food should not be a reward.
Yeah.
But when you had a hard day at work, you would go for a fruit bowl. I would go for cheesecake. But it's like, ye jeena bhi koi jeena hai, you know. It's like, is this a life worth leading if you can't even get a spoon of cheesecake? So it's like that.
I think though, what happened for me, because I was so sick with my food. I knew that how bad I can feel.
Yeah.
And when I started eating healthy, I was like, hang on, my mind's functioning better, my body's looking better, my skin's looking amazing. And what happens is when I would occasionally go, oh my God, I'm craving like a samosa. I'll just use samosa for example. I would eat it and I would feel really sick, or I would feel that satisfaction for that moment of going, oh my God, this taste is just like, I'm a big fan of like finding a really good burger or French fries and. But I would eat it and I would go, yes, this feels amazing. And then all of a sudden I'd be like, hang on, I'm feeling a bit sick in the tummy. My skin's a bit itchy because I get affected by sugar, like white sugar.
Have you seen Jane Fonda in that movie, in that show, in which she eats cheesecake? She's 80s and she eats a spoon of cake, not cheesecake, eats a spoon of cake. And she says it's after 25 years, and it's a movie. It's that show.
I feel like I know of this. Just being
and she eats and then she goes, and you should see her expression. I mean, it's like after so many years to eat something, and she emoted that so beautifully. It reminded me of that cat scene, you know, with the burger, with the where she eats the sandwich, and it was like, oh my God, like it's almost orgasmic. You know, the expression because sugar is that like it's heady.
But you know, by intermittent fasting, I get that feeling, and your tongue changes when you get away from all this like sweet stuff. When you get away from all the processed kind of chemical,
you can't go back to it then.
It tastes chemical after that.
Yes.
So what happens is when you actually start, your tongue gets, because our tongue apparently replaces every 3 days the cells in our tongue. So if you're eating healthy for a few days, all of a sudden the food starts to taste nicer. Like some people go, I can't taste vegetables or whatever. Now, oh my God, I love like a big fresh salad with some hummus. Like you can taste the garlic, you can taste the tomato, you can taste the cucumber. Like it just, and after you've fasted for so many hours and maybe you've just drank water, your tongue, oh my God, it's like heaven.
Okay.
And I love that. And I love the feeling because afterwards, I may be really full, I'm like stuffed. But all of a sudden I'll get energy.
Yeah, you're not lethargic.
Exactly. And that is what's very, I think it's, addictive is not the right word, but that's what keeps me going with this because I'm like, this food's making me feel amazing. Yes, okay, it takes a lot of discipline. But I have also a very naughty habit. I love plain potato chips. They're my only packaged food.
You sound like a 12-year-old now.
I love them. I don't even like the masala wallas. I just plain potato chips. Give me a packet when I really feel like
We should have known this with the production team.
But see, I won't eat it throughout the day. It's my reward at the end of the day. See, I don't also watch TV or anything throughout the day. I'm very disciplined in the way that I live my lifestyle. I will allow myself after a long day to sit there, turn on the TV, watch my series or movie or podcast or whatever it is, and eat a packet of potato chips, but only twice or thrice a week.
Okay.
Like that's my max. And
super. So where do you see yourself, Alicia, 10 years from now?
Wow, good question. I haven't even thought about it. I have faith that the universe will just send me in whatever direction, but I really hope I'm happier, and that I have inspired possibly more people to love themselves and take care of themselves and really nurture those around them and their community and have more of a oneness situation. That's more of where I see myself in 10 years, is just being happy that whatever I've done is going towards a good part of changing the world in a positive way.
Wishing you all the luck from all of us.
Thank you so
and thank
much.
you so much for being part of the podcast.
Thank
all
you
the best.
so much. So nice to talk with you, and thanks for having me.